Communication Air.
Welcome to the 26th episode of the Communication Air podcast, the community patch notes episode of our couch co-op games dying. And before we get into it, we have a very special guest with us. Ben, I don't want to butcher your last name, but if you could introduce yourself, say your last name or however you want to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure. Hi, I'm Ben Bertoli. Just like the pasta sauce, only with one less L. Not that affects. I'm a teacher, coach, video game journalist, and also a designer.
And you have something big going on right now, right? You want to talk a little bit about your card game?
Yeah. So we're we have about time of recording about 9 days, actually less than that, about a week to go on my current Kickstarter for my game Honcho, which is a little card game about trying to haunt different rooms, a big spooky mansion, lots of Luigi's Mansion vibes there. And yeah, it's been going great. This is our second Kickstarter that my wife and I have ever done. She's the only other member of my board game team officially, and we've a goal of 6,000, getting close to 10,000, which is like outstanding. We're getting some goals knocked out, but yeah, just trying to promote the game and let everybody know that they've got 1 week left to get involved here. That's not true. When it's done, you can still pre-order it. But, to be part of a Kickstarter.
You reached your initial goal, right? Of 6,000. When, I mean, this might be a loaded question. When do you expect to release the game to the public?
So what we have on the actual Kickstarter says like next October, but that report it probably be this coming spring. Hoping it'll be shipped out before May. Because this time around we have a lot more of the art done before the Kickstarter began. We have a lot of the play testing already knocked out. So we really just need to get the the special tiers where people are like inserting themselves into the game if they pledge so much money, or we're changing some of the locations to include people's names. So that's the kind of stuff that we kind of have to tweak and make sure that all the production is set up, and then we'll get everything shipped out. So that's the plan. Things go wrong all the time. So hopefully this spring, not definitely by this time next year.
So with this being your second card game, what have you learned from the first development into the second development, and like how? Because I feel like I'm seeing your posts everywhere, and you're doing everything you can to get people to know like this is a game that I made. I spent a lot of time on it. And I'm just very curious as to like, did you have a kind of a roadmap of how you wanted to advertise it?
Yeah, I mean, it's kind of just like I'm really big in the video game sphere online.
Mm-hmm.
I've got some great. I've got next that does not. It's not quite the board game community. So I tried to kind of put myself physically and digitally into those spaces more in the past year. Go to local gaming stores and buy games, play, meet new people. I did some talks at local libraries about how to make boards, just kind of connect with the community. So people would get to know me, and when I come say, hey, I have a board game. But I mean, people who play board games love to test out new things. So I've gotten to prototype, play test with a ton of different people who are my friends and family, and people who I've never met before, who just showed up because they heard they got to play, a game before it comes out. And so that's been great because there's all these scenarios, and I'm sure this is the same thing when it comes to video game testing, where someone will play a card or the situation. I'm just like, never happened before, and I need to think about they're going to apply. I need to the game moving forward. Maybe I need to add something to the rules, like an FAQ section type of thing. So yeah, the goal this time around was just a lot more social media, which is all me, and a lot more of like community outreach in terms of the board game community. And yeah, we've tried to do more advertising. We're doing the thing with Horror for Kids, which is an account that's got like 80,000 something followers on Twitter and Instagram and stuff. And so they're promoting the game. And yeah, we're just trying a little bit of everything to see like what really brings in results. It's kind of good because Kickstarter will show you like a breakdown of where everybody who actually backed your game, like where they came from. Did they, were they recommended by Kickstarter? Where did they come from? Twitter, X, or whatever the heck we're calling it now.
Yeah, right.
So that's great. Yeah, those analytics are fantastic. And we have like 595 people who have like hit the button saying, I'm interested in this, but I don't want to back it right now. Just kind of like remind me when it's about to down, like because we're ending Halloween night at midnight.
Mm-hmm.
And so 600 people are going to get an email on Halloween and be like, hey, interested in this? And I'm just praying that like 25% of them are like, yeah, because I mean, that's like 100 more people, which is $2,000 more that we'll get like in a day. If it's actually going to happen, but that's like my pipe dream that like on that last day, we're just going to like shoot past every possible goal. We'll see.
What a good spooky reminder too on Halloween. Just like, hey, there's this spooky card game coming out. Yeah,
that's the thing is, I was talking with my wife and I was like, I don't know if people are going to be like, oh yeah, it's Halloween. And I'm like, in the spirit, I'll buy this game. Or if they're going to be like, I do not have time for this. I have to take my children around the neighborhood. Like, I could go either way. Hopefully they'll be in the spooky mood and kind of like a party mood and be like, yeah, I need this.
Yeah, they had a couple cocktails at their Halloween party. They get the message like, yeah, I could play some spooky cards right now.
Actually, I'm going to buy several so my friends can play too.
The whole party's getting it.
Yeah.
Right. Well, the good thing is anybody who signed up for that reminder already has a Kickstarter account. So it's not like they have to go in and make a new one. You got to be like, yeah, back it. So.
Well, that's awesome. It's awesome that you reached it. And I mean, the timing, the month that you chose, I'm assuming was strategic. I mean, that was a pretty smart move to go in October.
Yeah, we thought perfect, which was Wizards and Bark Magic. That was also during October, just because of like the witch and wizard kind of aspect, and it did pretty well, like better than we expected. So I was like, this time with the ghosts, it's got to work. So it seems to have worked out pretty well.
That's awesome. And for those that don't know who you are in the gaming circle, do you want to say like how people know you?
Yeah, sure. So I've been writing professionally about video games for about almost 10 years now. Started out like really, I mean, I think my first website I ever wrote for was called 3dsbuzz.com. It doesn't anymore. It's been obliterated from but I used it into E3 2012. I was like, yeah, I'm a journalist. Let me in. Let me meet Reggie. And it worked. I got to E3. And Kotaku used to have a reader-run blog, and I was so active on that website that they were like, hey, we're going to make you an admin. And I just started posting reviews and features and stuff like that. And occasionally they would just pull those over onto Kotaku's actual page. And they did well enough that they started hiring me for freelance stuff and letting me like run their weekends, which was nerve-wracking because, well, Kotaku kind of has a reputation. And I just wanted to make sure, because it's like millions and millions of hits, and I didn't want to screw it up. But from there, I started pitching things out to Polygon and IGN, and did some stuff for Mashable, Pace Gaming, and in 2017, I wrote a book called 101 Video Games to Play Before You Grow Up. Hold on, I got it right here. Yeah. I don't know if they still sell it on Amazon. Unfortunately, I mean, this was, 6 years ago, so it's kind of outdated. Some of those games aren't even being made anymore, so children should not play them.
The number one question, is Super Mario Bros. 3 in that book.
Okay, so here's the thing. When I went to pitch the book, and they were like, "We love it. We want you to write this book," and they were like, "Give us the list of 101 video games," and I told them I am not going to list specific video games. I'm going to list 101 series because I don't want to tell a kid specifically, like go play SSX Tricky, and they're like, "Oh, I can't. Where am I going to go? Like to Goodwill?" So I thought it would be better if I was just like, "Hey, Super Mario Brothers as a series, great." And on the side, there's specific recommendations like, "Hey, go play Super Mario Bros. 3. Go play Super Mario World." Oh, yes, it is in there. It's mentioned. There's quite a bit of Mario because kid focused stuff.
We have I don't know if it's a debate going back and forth. We always ask the guest Super Mario Bros. 3 or Super Mario World. Which do you prefer?
I'm a Super Mario World guy.
Come on.
Yes, another one.
The thing is though, like that was my first like home console Super Nintendo, and my first game was Super Mario World. I got a real soft spot for that one. Honestly, I like Super Mario 64 better than either of those two.
Oh,
it's just me loving 3D platformers like a lot. Banjo-Kazooie is better than that, so
it's true. That was my first 3D platformer. Like I didn't know Mario 64. My first Mario 3D was Mario Sunshine, and I missed out on that amiibo too.
I think I got mine around here somewhere. Yeah, I got mine somewhere around here. The banjo amiibo. But we had Riley. What was his name? Riley
Little.
Riley Little.
I love Riley.
He's a big banjo fan as well.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, I've been friends with him. Online friends for a long time. Probably since I've been writing about video games. So like 10, 12 years, I would think. He's a fantastic guy.
Yeah, he's always really busy. He started with Game Rant. And then like the fact that he gets to mention Banjo-Kazooie for his job, just for people to like get on board with, that's amazing. That's a job I want.
Yeah. Well, here's a fun fact. I was gonna write a book about the history of Banjo-Kazooie, like the development of it. This was, it was back when they were about to do the 20th anniversary, and they just had the 25th, so 5 years ago. So I sat down with the whole development team. Oh gosh, the names are blanking, but Grant Kirkhope, who did the music and did it for Mario and Rabbids. This is the like funniest guy to ever talk to. He's always like playing pranks on people and stuff. Steve Males and Greg Males, who worked on the game. But anyway, still have all those interviews. I'm like hours and hours of interviews, because when I pitched it around to like book publishers and stuff, like no one really went for it. And so I don't know.
What?
You just gotta wait.
Man,
you sit on it until the next Banjo game eventually comes out.
Yeah. Banjo 3.
30th.
That's what we're all hoping
30th
for.
anniversary, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It'll happen.
I don't know.
Silk Song's gonna be shown this week, and then we're gonna get a Banjo 3.
Oh, Silk Song.
I would love that.
All right.
Well, Johnny, should we move into some server maintenance?
Yeah, sir. We got some server maintenance. Make sure you leave reviews on Apple and Spotify. 5-star reviews. I saw that our Spotify dropped a little bit. Somebody did not leave a 5-star review, so not cool, guys. Not cool. But now it doesn't look like we hired 25 bots to give us reviews. So
True. Yeah, keep it honest.
But we also got a new review on Apple. Do you have that pulled up? Do I have that pulled up?
I do, and I really like the title of it. It's good like Taco Bell. It's late night. You need a podcast and a meal. And I'm assuming they're saying listen to this podcast. But I mean, I like Taco Bell, so like I take it as a compliment.
I like Taco Bell, but it doesn't like me sometimes.
Maybe that's our podcast. I don't know.
But also subscribe to the YouTube channel. Follow us on X. If they make us pay $1 a year, we're leaving. We'll go over to Threads. And join
it's a mess right now.
Yeah. Join the Discord and check out the Patreon. That's it.
All right, let's get into it because I've been waiting for this conversation about couch co-op and what we had to say about it. Ben, you listened to the episode.
Yeah.
So what are your thoughts? I mean, did we even have what a co-op game is correct? Because we went back and forth a lot on what is a co-op game.
I mean, I feel like, well, obviously, co-op in general is just like a cooperative thing that you're both working towards the same goal. I don't know if you have to necessarily be helping each other, but I think that would definitely make it a co-op game. You could have the online co-op, you could do couch co-op. Um, but, I just want to bring up the fact that like my wife and I play a lot of games where we just like pass the controller back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
Play it like they're single player games, like point and click adventures, and stuff like that. Like Tangle Tower. I don't know if you've ever played that game. It's fantastic. Like murder mystery thing.
Mm-hmm.
I Am Dead, which is the name of a game, and not me. Yeah, I'm alive. But another one where it's just it's just like you're playing it with somebody and they're like pointing out clues and they're like walk over there, check that thing out. And it's not traditional couch co-op, but I still really enjoy it, because it's not something that I would ever really do with someone online. I
Mm-hmm.
would just want to sit down and kind of point at fun things on the screen and say, hey, go click on that. So yeah, I mean, it can be cooperative. I know you guys were arguing that Smash Brothers was not cooperative, but I will tell you that like every time my friend comes over to play Smash Brothers with me, we we do like we're on a team versus another team, and it's 100% co-op. Like we are, we turn on damage so we can hurt each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not like Mario where you're just a ghost in the background or whatever. Um, you're actively trying to, punch enemies at the same time and not kick each other in the face. So I would
Yeah,
say Smash Brothers counts, depending.
I think there are at least modes. Like I think you could play World of Light cooperatively. I might be wrong. I don't remember. Uh,
I can't remember. I think so. I feel like there was some mode in Smash Brothers, an adventure mode of some kind, could play with other people. I can't remember which one it was though.
yeah, I mean the overall like there we got some comments about like I felt like uneducated like
Well, I just want to
what
say
a
too.
co-op game is.
I just want our listeners to know immediately after we were done recording, Johnny was like, "Yeah, I think I might have been wrong about some of the stuff I said tonight," and it's like now you're going back on your
That
word
never happened. That was not recorded. That never happened.
because I agree. I think Smash Bros is co-op. Anything that you are playing with somebody on a couch next to you is
Hmm.
See,
co-op.
that's another thing that I think the listeners didn't understand. Like I think they thought we were just talking about co-op in general, like online, not and
Mm.
not just local. And I was thinking that we were just going to talk about local co-op,
Mhm.
and how that is not as I don't think it's as prevalent as it has been in the past. But like I did a poll on my YouTube channel about is like couch co-op dying, and it had like I don't know 80% saying no.
I mean, I feel like it is. Well, okay, dying's not the right word. It's like it's it's napping. It's on the couch. Okay, it's in a slight. It ate too much Taco Bell and
Uh-huh.
it's on the couch in a food coma or something. But yeah, I agree that it's not as prevalent as it used to be. Not dying. It's just not flourishing like it could be, I suppose.
I mean,
But
I think
was it ever? Because that was something that we talked about too. Is like we have the nostalgia for playing games with our friends, but like, was there that many co-op experiences, or was it just the few like party games here and there that really
You
kind
mean
of hold?
games where you're actually working together towards a goal, or just games where you're playing on the same screen against each other?
I guess both, honestly, because like
I feel like there were a lot.
yeah.
Yeah, especially, and this is I don't think you guys touched on this, but like rhythm games, like every Guitar Hero, Rock Band, DJ Hero, like
Yeah.
if it's a two-player thing, usually it's not. I mean, those games weren't you could do competitions, but for the most part, I felt like, it's like you got the drums, I got the guitar. We're working towards this one big score in the end. I just bought Trombone Champ, and that
Nice.
game is ridiculous. And you can play on the Switch. It's got multiplayer, and my wife and I are just like, "Brr, brr, brr." I
Are
mean,
you actually doing
working
the
together.
motion, or you okay?
Yeah. So there's like I mean, there the two ones that are the most fun is the one where you just kind of like the front to back, or you can just go up and down if you. Oh, that's a bad motion. Don't show that on the video. But or you can do the thing where you like answer the side and then you
Yeah,
just,
yeah.
like, which is really hard. It's so stupid, but I don't even know if you can fail songs on there. Even if you're doing well on that game, it sounds like you're, stepping on a dolphin. But, like overall, I mean, it's just so fun, and you're definitely working together to get a better score. So, I mean, you guys mentioned one of my favorites, which is Heave Ho,
Oh
like my
yes.
favorite co-op game.
So
Oh
fun.
man,
Oh my god, it's
I
so
recommend
dumb.
that to everybody.
It's so
It is.
we went out. We're part of the Nintendo Powercast, and we went out.
Right.
And we all got together, and N64 Josh is like, we gotta play this game. And like this looks so stupid. And then like as soon as you start with like getting the grabby hands, I found that hilarious. Like just pressing the button to do the grabby hands. And,
Yeah, but like part of the game is also like how much your hands get tangled with somebody else. So you're like, okay, wait, which button controls which hand? And
Yeah.
yeah,
I
You let go. No, you let go.
yeah,
I could not
yep.
stop laughing. Like I couldn't see for a bit because my eyes were watering. I had to walk away. Man, that's a great game. So if anybody out there listening, play Vampire Survivors and play Heave Ho.
Yeah. Towerfall. I love Towerfall.
Yeah, we played
Yeah.
that too.
Um,
Played that too.
Yeah. Whatever the New Age Mutant Ninja Turtles, Shredder's Revenge or something. Also fantastic co-op. I don't know. Did you guys mention Luigi's Mansion 3, where you can be Gooigi?
We did mention it,
Okay.
but I don't remember. I mean, I don't really have somebody to play games like that with around me.
Gotcha.
So I haven't really tried that co-op.
Yeah,
That's
I
pretty
loved
good.
it. My
liked
wife
it.
and I, we played it. We had a great time. It does kind of annoy me that the second player is unlocked after like maybe 40 minutes of play. You can't just get it from the
Isn't
beginning.
that how it was in Pikmin 3 as well? Like you couldn't just play two-player until you like found your
In a while.
friends like stranded in the snow. Yeah, or at least Pikmin Deluxe. I think both. But
Mhm.
yeah.
Yeah, well, it's
Pikmin 4,
interesting. If Pikmin 4, what happened?
I don't know. I mean, Pikmin 3 Deluxe, I love playing multiplayer. Like the
Mhm.
collaborative, like beat the bosses, get all the fruit in the amount of time. They need to add that.
Yeah.
Pay for DLC for Pikmin 4, but they should just add it for free because they deserve it.
Well, even like the bingo battle was a lot of fun, and they took that out.
Yeah,
Well,
I
that's
don't know. It's
that's
weird.
Dandori. I mean, that's pretty much what Dandori is.
I guess so. Yeah.
Before we
Um,
get into this, I do want to talk about Mario Wonder because it is, it just came out. We've all played it. I didn't play co-op, but I have played the online. Like I have played it online, and I was wrong. I thought that was going to be terrible. It's actually really good.
Mhm.
Like the people online seem to be mostly helpful.
Yeah.
And the standees. Can you do standees in local co-op, or is it just?
I mean, there's no you can place
Something you would
them.
need to.
Yeah.
Have you played online with somebody who you're actually like talking to? 'Cause I
No.
did that the other night.
I haven't tried that
How
yet.
did that
It's
go?
not bad. It was all right. I mean, because the problem was that like they can't go to a level that they haven't gotten to yet. You have to find some
Oh.
area where you're like both about to move on, or like they can just go through a level with you that you've already done, which is kind of a pain. But it makes sense. Like they're not going to let you jump ahead and be like, "Yeah, you're in the middle of this world that you haven't even unlocked."
Right.
It's interesting just to watch. I mean, it's like the Ghost players, but for some reason, you focus on it more when you know the person who's actually doing it. if they get up on a block or a ledge or somewhere secret where you haven't hit that block, it just looks like there's like a ghost elephant like walking across the top of the screen. But they're also walking you through it. They're like, oh yeah, like there's blocks up here or whatever. It's really helpful on those levels where there's like that are. And then if they half them, where half of the coins are. You don't just have to watch them run around. They'll just be like, oh yeah, go up this pipe and jump down this hole or whatever. It was fun, but yeah, I mean, you can you fall in a hole, you become a ghost, and they can revive you by touching you. But yeah, I mean, overall, I think it'd be more if you had like everything unlocked and you went back and kind of did like specific levels together.
Yeah.
But
I know, Cheesy, you played with your wife, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all we did this weekend. We had a good time. She played as Yoshi, which I was surprised by because she wanted to play as Yoshi, but then when she learned that you can't have power-ups, she played as like Blue Toad, I think, and then decided to just go back to Yoshi, and it was a much better experience for her, who is someone who is good at video games, but not like how we are, not somebody that plays video games all the time.
Wow, humble yourself.
What?
Grounds for divorce. I'm
gonna tell her. You said she sucks at video games.
Oh, she knows that she's better at
man.
Breath of the Wild and Tears of the Kingdom than I am. So and it was funny. She was like, as soon as I play a platformer, I have to press one button at a time, and my brain just doesn't work the same way it does when I'm playing like Breath of the Wild and pressing multiple buttons at once.
I don't know what it is. I always hold in the run button. Like, no matter what I'm doing, run button's always held in.
Yeah, me too. But no, I think that it was a fun experience. And as far as like our conversation for, co-op, I think it was a lot of fun. It is interesting how they took out the mechanic of like bumping into each other or, bubbling. Cause now it's just, you turn into a ghost for 5 seconds and then you're dead. You come back to life, but it's when you bubbled in like New Super Mario Bros., you were just there until somebody released you.
Yeah, or they died.
Yeah.
So you can't really get carried to the end like you used to.
Right.
Well, I mean, unless you die, right? And then, like, what happens when you die? Are you just done until the other person either completes a level or dies?
They will come back, but you share lives. So it will take up a life.
Gotcha.
Yeah. But overall, like, I think it was still a fun co-op experience, and that game has so much life to it, and we were smiling the whole time and just having a good time because you just don't know what's going to happen next.
Yeah, it's pretty wacky.
Yeah, I 100% of the game in 2 days. I never do that. Now I'm doing a secret thing. I can't tell anybody because I don't want it to be out there before somebody does it before me.
So, I mean, like, you played it so fast and so quickly to 100% it. Did you enjoy it?
Oh yeah, no, it's great. I just wish that there was more. I said this on X. I'm like, I loved every minute of it, but there should have been more. Like 20 hours to 100% a game for $60 just seems like not a lot. Like I mean, I know that's how it's been for Mario games for a long time, but like it's been 10 years. It's been 10 years since New Super Mario Bros. Why can't we get more? And the boss battles suck.
Understandable. Like I've only 1 or 2 so far, but they have not been very challenging.
They just feel tacked on. Like the castles are fun to get through. Like the platforming and everything in the castles are fun to get through. It's just the boss battle at the end. And then, oh man, I don't want to go too much into spoilers, but there are
No.
There are some levels that have a boss fight, but it's terrible.
Tell us how you really feel, Johnny.
Yeah, and then I can't wait until I can talk about spoilers. I mean, it's been 3 days. I think we can talk about spoilers. All right, so here's what happens in the last one.
So I do have a question for you, Ben. When you were testing out your game, obviously you have people that are around to play the game with you. I mean, that's a card game. Your game's not online. Do you find it a more enjoyable experience having people with you versus playing like a game online? Like, do you feel that there has been a change in the way that people feel about co-op games?
I'm not sure if anything has changed hard. I feel like, I don't know. I can't imagine there's a person out there that outside of, as far as ease of use, doesn't enjoy playing with someone like in the room with them. I get together with my friend and we play Splatoon 3, the same room together, one of us on the Switch, like handheld, and one of us on the TV, and then we just like swap. So like even when I'm doing online co-op, I prefer to have the person in the room with me. And I mean, board games. I mean, obviously there are card games out there. There's fantastic card games out there that you can play online. There's like Magic: The Gathering, Arena. Actually, a game that I've been really into lately is Disney Lorcana, a trading card game. And I'm like not like, I mean, I'm like an OG Pokemon trading card game guy, but I have never been into Magic. But I got like hardcore into this. I'm not even like a big Disney guy. I was just like, oh, it's like Magic, but it's for little babies. There's, like Kuzco from the Emperor's New Groove. I'm in.
Uh-huh.
So, but I've been playing that online, which is kind of like a weird legal gray area because I don't know if you guys have heard about this, but someone basically like uploaded the whole game onto this site called Pixelborn. And it's like it just has all the information for the cards, but none of the pictures. But if you upload the pictures of the cards, like there's nothing Disney can do. Anyway, so I've been playing it online. I've been going to my local gaming store to play against just like random people who I've met on Discord. And it's fun to play online because I can build the most powerful deck in the world. But it's way more fun to just go and get my, butt handed to me by some new friend that I'm meeting in real life. I don't know. There's just something about that like personal touch and being able to like have a conversation with somebody who's right next to you, slug them because they knocked you off a cliff or something.
Yeah.
So is it still very hard to find those cards?
Yes. Yeah. I mean, they're still on. They're going down, but the second set of cards is coming out middle of next month, and there's supposed to be like a reprint of the first ones. I've had to buy a lot of single cards just to get my deck like where I need it, and I'm nowhere near like some of these guys are spending like thousands of dollars to get like 4 of every card, and I'm just like, nah. I'm not that into it. Like I don't need to remortgage my house for this. I'll just get what I can find. Yeah, they had them at my local Target, but they'd only let you buy 1 pack a day. I live like 15 minutes away, but I'm not going to drive to Target every day to buy 1 pack of a card game. So I would just get like 1 every weekend, and
that's why you got to take your wife with you. You get one, she gets one.
Yeah,
it's like
I
old
about that.
It's like how Pokemon was a few years ago. Like you had to go wait in line at Target. You could only get like 1 or 2 things, and then be done. I just know like I've been to like we go to Barnes and Noble for like Lego and stuff, and whenever we're looking behind because a bunch of Lego stuff's behind the counters, they're always like, oh, we don't have Lorcana. I'm like, oh, we're not looking for Lorcana.
You are now, so you can send it to me.
All right, 1 a day,
Yeah. Well, that's the thing too. Is like, it seems like people who are taking pre-orders for the reprint or the next like set of cards, which is called Floodborn, is the like set expansion. Even they're jacking the prices up, But I don't want to pay $15 for a booster when they're supposed to be like $6. Yeah. Like I don't know. I just don't go in for the scalping like stuff. I'm never that desperate that I'm gonna do that. So
Bloodborne.
see.
That sounds like they're
Oh.
doing a crossover with Bloodborne. Man, can you imagine a Disney crossover with Bloodborne?
but it's underwater. BioShock and Bloodborne together.
Yeah.
Oh, that would be
Yeah.
epic. Don't give me hope.
And also, Gaston is there.
Well, all right,
Wow,
one of
stuff.
the comments that we got was from Flea, and they said naturally game developers included multiplayer modes in their games so people could play together, and this was the norm. But not only was the lack of online a big reason for local multiplayer, it was also a lot easier as kids to spend time as friends at a friend's house and play together. Now as somewhat a functioning adult, I just don't have the time to go to a friend's house to play video games for hours on end, and my adult friends don't have time for that either. So we take the path of least resistance playing online, which often just means playing with random people instead of close friends. You mentioned that you play Splatoon with your friends and like in person, and I think that's really cool because not even a lot of people do that. Is there like a go-to game for you that you like to have people over for and play games with?
Like when it comes to like just inviting people over video games, do I like to play when there's a bunch of people?
Yeah, do you break out the everybody 1-2 switch?
Yeah, every night.
Yeah.
I mean, Mario Party
Yeah.
Superstars is pretty good. Way better than whatever that first one was.
Super
Came out
Mario
with,
Party, right? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
have that one too.
Confusing
It's okay.
naming titles,
Yeah.
you know? Yeah.
I mean, Super Smash Brothers is always a big fan favorite. When I'm just have like, I have a couple of friends that like I play specific things with. Like my brother-in-law is like super into Pikmin, and so am I. And so
Mhm.
we'll just go through like all of Pikmin 3, co-op and the battles and all that stuff. Splatoon is another one that I like to get into with my younger brother. He's not little anymore. He's like 27 or something. But yeah, those are probably the main ones. A lot of Nintendo. I mean, Mario Kart, always a classic. Rocket League, fun. Yeah, those are the ones. And Heave Ho, obviously, the
Yeah.
GOAT, the best of
Yeah,
all
they
time.
go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Jackbox games.
Oh,
are
Jackbox is
amazing.
great, yeah.
There's a
We
ton
didn't
of-
even
ton
mention
of
that.
variety there.
Yeah.
They're not really
Yeah.
co-op games though. I would think they're party games. They're just like like Mario
Yeah.
Party.
More of a competition
Yeah.
than it is a co-op. Sometimes you're working together. It just depends on whatever the game is.
Mhm.
There's got.
I just like playing the murder mystery one. The murder mystery mini game is
Yeah.
great. I streamed
TKO.
that.
Yeah, TKO is amazing.
I bought one of the T-shirts. that I
Did
made.
you really?
Yeah, I think I still have it. I used to stream it, and man, that is like terrifying to stream because you never know. Like if you do drawful, you never know what people are gonna draw. And I think they have the filter with the names, but like you just never know what's gonna happen. But Jackbox, yeah, those are great games.
Yeah, I really like. I think it's Jackbox 3, Fibbage, and break the internet or something like that. Something similar to that.
Mhm.
My grandma, God rest her soul, she's passed on. But the one like heard about Jackbox, like I'm gonna give you $20. You buy it on the Switch, we're gonna play it. And I was like, yes, grandma, absolutely. So I
That's
only got into
hilarious.
Jackbox because of my grandma, because she was a party animal.
Oh, that's
And,
amazing.
That's a cool story.
Yeah.
Well, since you brought up Splatoon, I gotta know what team are you doing for Splatoween?
So I feel like if you were gonna have a friend, you would want a ghost. I love skeletons, so I'm probably gonna go with skeletons just because it's like the funny, stupid answer. And also,
But I
have, like,
mean-
the build of a skeleton. So
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. Like we're all skeletons, and like you can become friends with those skeletons. So because like
they
ghosts,
saying
it's
that like on the inside we're all skeletons. Like we're just
Yeah.
all a bunch of wet bones.
yeah.
I don't like. So I don't watch horror things very often, right? But there are things that I could do. Like I could do vampires, monsters, zombies, things that I know aren't real. But ghosts, ghosts freak me out, so I will never choose Team Ghost. I went with Zombie. I think Zombie's the last one.
Oh, well, you'll probably get a win because Shivers won 5 times in a row, so
It's strategy.
Might be a sixth. Yeah. So you're not a big fan of Scooby-Doo, I take it?
Well, Scooby-Doo, they're all fake. That's the whole point of that show.
Are they?
Not on Scooby-Doo and Zombie Island.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
the movies, the really movies.
I don't know. Like ghosts just freak me out. I can't do ghost things. I just can't. Because they're real. 100%.
I feel like if ghosts existed, there would be more like substantial evidence that like it wouldn't just be like some guy who like saw one late night in the park. Like they'd just be like, I don't know. If they were real, I feel like there would be like scientific. Like they'd be like, yeah, ghosts exist and here they are. I don't know.
Maybe we're just not listening to the right people. We're not.
Maybe
everybody that says it, they're conspiracy theorists and they get shoved to the back.
I think maybe we don't see ghosts is because there's a real Pac-Man out there. It's just gobbled them all up.
That's a theory I have not heard, but I can't wait for all the Pac-Man truthers out there
Yeah.
to
Pac-Man truthers.
slam my feed.
We got a comment from Nightcrawler, who's part of the Nintendo Powercast. I think there are 3 different categories that exist: co-op, playing a campaign or story together; party game, against others but best done locally; versus multiplayer that has mostly shifted to online. You covered and talked a lot about co-op, but party games are disappearing too. Microsoft seems to be the best to embrace co-op campaigns. Halo and Gears come to mind. Recently, Baldur's Gate was delayed on Xbox due to the problems getting local co-op to work, and Halo Infinite does have local.
Doesn't.
Game worlds are becoming too large to have 2 people existing in them on the same machine. We need separate machines to have it perform as we as consumers expect it to. Nintendo is the opposite and seems to struggle with the online infrastructure to have 2 consoles communicate within the same game world. It's very interesting because like when I look at the Switch and what Nintendo has done for co-op, I feel like there's just not a lot. You have Mario Kart, Mario Party, I guess Luigi's Mansion and Kirby, but even if they do have co-op, it's like a cop-out almost. Like it's not really a good experience for the other player. Do you feel that way, or?
Well, I mean, some of those, like Smash Brothers and Mario Kart.
Yeah.
Even the most recent Kirby, I feel like it was pretty, like well balanced. You know what I mean? It didn't feel like an afterthought. You're not gonna make a Mario Kart game where you can play alone. You're not going to make a Smash Brothers game where you can play alone.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe. Kirby, I think is a good example because you like the second player actually did get to attack enemies versus like being Cappy.
Right. Yoshi's Woolly World or World, one of those.
Crafted.
I feel like Well, I think both of those good like local co-op. I mean, you're just another Yoshi jumping around, chuck craft supplies at each other. So that's a good example.
Yeah.
Well, yeah. I mean, now we have Wonder, which is also a 2D platformer.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe it's easier because you're on that single plane as opposed to the 3D plane of like Odyssey and Kirby. Yoshi's 2D. Like, I don't know. But even Wonders, I don't think their co-op, they went back a step on the co-op because New Super Mario Bros. Was so hectic with all the collision and everything you could do with your co-op partner, and now it's just they're there and you're going through the levels together. but it's different.
It'd be great if you could just turn it on and off.
Yeah. Yeah, I wonder why. I mean, yeah. Why can't you turn off? Because you could turn off the talking flower. Why not turn on and off collision?
I feel like that would make it better. And I mean, if you want to bump your friends, why not? Let that be up to you.
Right, because I think that is the chaotic experience that you get when you're playing with somebody that is like right next to you. Like you probably are going to give each other a little bit of a hard time because that's the fun of it.
Yeah.
Can you troll people now?
You can, at least with the items. We found out that like with Yoshi can't accept the items. So if you're wanting to use a certain item, say like you're Mario and you want to use the elephant item that is in like your item bag,
Reserve.
Yoshi could trigger like the balloon and then like grab the item before you can even use the elephant.
And then it just goes away?
It just goes back into your
So I thought it would just go away. Like I thought it would just like you could pick up the item, but it's just
no, it's almost more annoying. Yeah, it's almost more annoying because it goes into the bank and you're like you can see it and you want to use it, but then the other person could just keep doing the same thing over and over again.
What happens when like the person to the furthest right keeps trying to move? Does it follow them automatically or does it follow the first player when you're doing couch co-op?
That is actually probably one of the downsides I have of co-op is the camera. It follows the person that either got like the last wonder seed or the person that is just like in the lead of not even just like in front, just with grabbing coins and grabbing the seed and stuff like that. But if you die, then the camera will go to the next person and puts like a crown over their head. Yeah.
Because I had a friend who was playing this with his daughter, who I think is 4, my friend Graham. He was saying that she just wants to like blaze through every single level and get to the flag, jumping on that flag. He wants to like snoop around for different like secrets and stuff.
Yeah.
She just kept bulldozing him to the end, and he's just like, I guess I'll come back and do this like later by myself. So that could also be an issue.
I can't imagine playing with
a small child.
Yeah, I can't imagine. You know, there's some levels that are quite difficult. I couldn't imagine playing those with like a child.
Yeah. Well, apparently she's doing pretty well. She hasn't died that much. I think she's doing Yoshi. And nice. Yoshi can only die from like falls, like right? Okay. And then what's with Nabbit? What goes?
It's the same thing. It's the same thing.
Oh.
But you can't ride Nabbit. I think it's only. Oh yeah, I guess. Yeah, I guess you
Not
just
with that
can't. Can he fall into? I think he could fall into. I don't know.
Like, why would you pick Nabbit over Yoshi? I guess, except for his obviously superior and cool rabbit design.
Have you? So she was Yoshi. Did you? I don't want to. Like, I was gonna say, were you riding her the whole time? But then I realized what that phrasing is. So. But
She's the one that gave you guys that low Spotify review.
But did you use that feature that much? Or were you just running separately?
No, I mean, there were times where I would use it just because it was kind of nice to, especially if she wanted to get a lot out of the gameplay experience for someone that doesn't play a lot of video games. It was kind of nice that she just got to control the character and then I could like ride along. But then there's times where maybe I did need to like jump on her back and then reach a higher area. And because we're working together, I could get up on that ledge. And if the camera was focused on me, then I probably would be higher than where she was, and she would turn into a ghost, and then she could just kind of ghost her way up to where I am.
So you're cheesing it. You're cheesing the whole game, huh?
I wouldn't say cheesing. That's part of the experience. The co-op experience.
Anyway,
I didn't do it like you. No, I'm actually having fun with it.
I'm a true gamer.
Yeah.
I will not admit that I used a bunch of
True gamer.
standees. Playing online, like in that game, is kind of a cheat code.
Yeah, because you have others that will just help you.
Yeah, there's like others that just put up standees like right near hard jumps, and or you could still, if you hit their ghost, they revive you. So
yeah,
it is kind of like an easy mode, but I enjoyed it. I thought people were genuinely helpful.
Yeah.
Online.
And I think it's just cool that even Nintendo added a feature like that. That's like, we want others to be helpful. So here's a standee. If people interact with it, you get some like helpful points. And if you revive people who are ghosts, you are helpful. And
yeah, but
like,
what do you do? What do you do with those points? Nothing.
You just get to brag about how helpful you are.
I saw one. The guy had 37,000 points, and I'm like, how is that even possible? Game's been out for 2 days. Anyway, all right. We're getting close to an hour. I don't want to go over. I want to go through some of these though. The one I definitely want to point out is the names Jer on YouTube said, "Find yourself a partner that thinks of you as often as Johnny Bo thinks of Super Mario Bros. 3."
You do talk about it a lot. It's like, a little concerning.
It deserves to be talked about all the time. I did ask on Spotify, what's your favorite co-op games? We got a couple of comments on that. It says, this is from Roy Verberne. I don't know how to say that name. Pretty much all 2D Mario games. A lot of people played those co-op. Then from Gotham, it says, I also had a poll saying, our couch co-op game's dying. And Gotham says, on the poll I voted, no, it's not dying, but I have since learned that what I thought was a couch co-op is not couch co-op. So,
well, we might have steered that person wrong.
Yeah, Gotham, that's on us. So it said, so if I could vote yes now, I would. And then Fierce Link says, the new Super Mario Bros. Series is number 1. I would assume Wonder will be the new number 1. I recently played Nintendo Land with my 2 daughters, 21 and 18. Yes, I'm older than Josh and my partner. It was a blast. Oh, Nintendo Land. Have you played it?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes, I have.
It deserves to come back. We need a new Nintendo Land.
Yeah. It was shockingly good. Like, I enjoyed it more than New Super Mario Bros. U when the Wii U launched. For sure.
Yeah. And now they could bring it back and add like Splatoon and Pikmin. Was there a Pikmin game on there?
No, I don't think so. There was Zelda,
Yes.
Metroid. Oh, was there a Pikmin game? I'm trying to think what it was.
There was.
The game that I played the most on there was the Donkey Kong.
Hold on, I gotta Google it now.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I swear that.
There's F-Zero on there.
Maybe
I know
there
that.
was just like Pikmin involved.
There's Star Fox.
Yeah. When I went to E3 in 20. Oh, there was these pins you could get for Nintendo Land. Like if you played all the different games, you get the pins, and I got all of them.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's Pikmin Adventure.
I don't remember what that one is. Yeah, I don't remember what that was. Because I vividly remember the Animal Crossing one, the Mario Chase one, Metroid, Zelda, F-Zero. I think there was a Star Fox. Donkey Kong. The Donkey Kong one was the one I played the most because that was like a single player
Did I
one.
lose you guys? Are you still there?
Ooh, yeah, we're still here.
We must have lost you for a second.
Uh-oh.
Can you hear us? Okay.
Yeah, cool.
All right. Now we can't hear you. We can
yeah.
see you, but we can't hear you.
Sorry.
Oh, there we go.
You guys hear me now?
Yeah.
Yes. You can hear me?
Yeah, we're yeah, it's a
little
little
bit,
it's a little
here and
delayed.
there.
It's a little delayed. It's
I don't know
cutting in
what's
and
happening.
out. It's cutting out
Yeah?
a little bit. That's all
I
right.
don't know what's happening. This is my the time that I need to go. I can't-
We are about an hour in.
all right.
what-
The thing is a name on there. Important thing.
But before we go, Ben, pitch or shout out your Kickstarter. We'll have the links in the show notes and on the videos. So anybody wants to check that out, you will have the links.
All right. So if you guys just want to search for Head Honcho on Kickstarter, it's spelled like HAUCHO, which is haunting. Or you can go to radgames.com. That's the name of my little company that I own with my wife. You can go to Play Radish on X. You can go to Play Radish Games on Instagram. And you can just follow me on X or Twitter, you want to call it. That's at Super Bentendo.
Awesome. Well, thanks for spending time with us. I know it's getting late, and teachers have to get up. My partner's a teacher, and she needs to get up early as well. I'm actually taking her to work tomorrow. So,
Well, thank you guys so much for having me on the show. I really appreciate it.
Yeah.
And hopefully I can come back sometime soon.
oh, yeah.
Anytime. Yeah.
Anytime.
Thanks
When
for
the-
coming on to the show.
Thanks
See you
everybody
later.
for listening.